Hi Sagittarius. So we finally made it. And yeah, I saved you for last. That's what they say. They save the best for last, right? Well, I went ahead and I pulled your cards. And I'll get my normal message out real quick before I continue on. If you do not find a message here in this reading, please be sure to check your moon and rising signs. If you are looking for a message specific to love or relationships, you can check your birth chart and find which zodiac sign Venus resides in. And you would likely find a message there that would resonate with you, if there is such message in that reading. Also, you can check your placements in the Vedic side rail birth chart. I find that I am in equal balance of my sun and rising signs in that chart. My moon sign is the same, but I'm pretty equal balance of my sun in the Western and the Vedic charts. So yeah, let me get along with your reading here. I also wanted to remind you guys that if you were born between November 18th and November 24th, you are a Scorpio Sag cusp, so you could have messages in the Scorpio reading as well. And if you were born between December 18th and December 24th, you will have messages in the Capricorn reading as well as this one. So I went ahead and I pulled your overall energy, which is really great because we have the World and the Fool. So this is new beginnings. This is taking us into the new year like you do all the time with your graciousness. And yeah, I think of like Thanksgiving and Christmas and that kind of stuff, and how you guys have to share your birthdays with two of the biggest holidays in the calendar year, and I've yet to meet a Sag that really minds it. They don't really complain about it too much. Okay, so when I pulled your cards, pardon me, I pulled from the first deck, and then I went ahead and I clarified each individual card underneath of it. So the first two cards was the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Earth, which is equivalent to the Seven of Pentacles. Now, initially, or I should say usually, and this is still possible, that this could be a relationship, someone who basically left someone out in the cold, put them out, kicked them to the curb, ghosted them, what have you, and now they're regretting it, and they're thinking about you a lot, and they're also be spying on you, like social media, that kind of thing. And that's what you would, or I kind of got it initially, but what I really picked up from this was someone who passed away. This girl is sad. The windows kind of reminded me of a church. And I'm really getting the feeling, see the feathers on this man's headdress are reminding me of angel wings. And I guess it was just a feeling of overall sadness. Now I do want to say that specific to this reading, this is definitely a male that I'm picking up on. And definitely a male that has passed, or had passed before his time, like not an older like grandfather that passed from old age or something like that. It was someone who passed too early, so like a brother, a father, a boyfriend, something like that. Usually it's difficult to distinguish gender sometimes in readings, I believe Cancer, the zodiac sign of Cancer, was the first one I did for November, and I was pretty certain that specific person in that message was a female. Sometimes you can't tell. And these two cards came out together, clarified that this card, which is the Strength card in the normal deck, this Four of Cups and the Five of Cups. Obviously someone here is sad, and I am feeling very alone, or the person that passed had provided this person with a feeling of safety, courage, that kind of energy. So maybe an older brother, father, something like that. I'm noticing the different skin tone colors on this card. The girl is a normal flesh tone, whereas the guy in this card kind of has the paler skin color. You know, your skin turns a grayish blue when you pass away. So once I pulled these cards, I knew that that was exactly the message that was coming through here. The next card out, or the next two cards, I have the Hermit, Major Arcana of Virgo. I don't really feel like that's really relevant here. And the Two of Cups, which is Two of Water. Now, we know that the fish is associated with Jesus and that sort of sign. And I get two messages over this, and they could both be for you. The first one being that someone is watching over you from heaven in the spiritual realm, and the second one was just literally this person who had passed you have memories of them taking you fishing, that kind of thing. You went fishing with this person. That's why I was thinking, brother, father, or something along those lines. Next card out is the Two of Swords and the Eight of Air. And here is at the point where you have decided to, I don't want to say let go and completely heal, because even though the saying goes that time heals everything, I think there are certain things in your life that are so painful that you will probably never heal. You just deal. And here I am getting that you've gotten to the point where you can make peace with it, which now you are at the precipice of, because I said we were rounding out 2019 and getting into 2020, and that brings us to the full energy in the World card, which we got at the beginning of the reading. So this is the exact message that was supposed to come through. Different decks, exact same cards. I noted in my emergence from Scorpio into Sagittarius video, which was very long, my apologies, I get long-winded when I talk, about how we are going to be embarking on a journey, something that maybe we felt that we failed at before, or we were somehow stopped by a toxic relationship, or someone held us back, or we just didn't make it. We just resolved to stop, and now we have a new opportunity. That's what you do. You're Sagittarius. You hold everything. I get the feeling of, you know, holding everything on your shoulders, and I would even suspect that some Sagittarius are having shoulder pain or back pain that could increase as the season goes on. But it's embarking on a new journey. It's taking that leap of faith and realizing that if you're not failing, that you're not trying. And that's what life's all about. I don't think there's a worse feeling in the world than giving up. Quitting feels worse than anything. This is also a warning here to not go back to anything toxic once we get into this new season and we decide what we are going to do, because there's the Ten of Cups, and the moon is illuminating these lessons that we've learned over the past, well, it could be 2 decades, like the better part of your life. For some of you, you know, just the overall energy in the world has just been toxic. And with this Temperance card, not Temperance, I'm sorry, it's Judgment. This is the karmic card, right? So when I looked at this card, I was kind of getting like Sagittarius, like yelling at the rest of the zodiac, like, can you hear me now? You know, we were taken back in Scorpio season, back to that thing again, to learn that last lesson that we learned, that we were there before. And oh, you didn't learn that time? Let me put you back there. Oh, you didn't learn that time? Oh, you forgot something. Let me take you back there now. Do you hear me now? So I feel like Sagittarius is saying, because whatever zodiac sign we're in, I think any other sign in the zodiac could watch the reading for that specific sign and would find a message in there, because it's an overall collective energy. That's what we're in right now. Mid-December into January, I know that Uranus and Pluto and I think Mercury and then eventually Venus will all be in Capricorn, which just makes for a lot of hard work and dedication. I also noted in the previous video that it is a good time to start making a list and making plans to move ahead on what we are going to do with this, you know, abundance that's coming and this new opportunities that are coming. You know, if you're married and you're in a relationship and, you know, you don't have any plans to go anywhere or do anything, it could be about just a relief of financial burden. Things are going to get better. Some of you may be building a new house, you know, things, all kinds of things that will be going really well for people. I think making vision boards are helpful. I've never really made one, but you can make them up. You can pin stuff on Pinterest. So you kind of have a motivation to look forward to something, or, you know, even a mantra. When Mercury retrograde was happening, and it was like little stuff just happening to my car all the time, and it was random, and, you know, I'd want to just get mad and be like, oh, you know. And then I was having a little trouble with because I don't know if you guys remember, but I tried to start my channel the day Mercury retrograde started. I don't know what I was thinking. You know, somebody who studies astrology should know better, but I wasn't even paying attention. I just kept this mantra in my head of just keep going, just keep going. And that's what I would say. You know, I had a couple days here and there where I just wanted to give up, but, you know, you just keep going. It's not always easy. And again, I went ahead and I got an underlying energy from that, and it was just the karmic again. So you have completely rounded out this reading, doing exactly what you do, and done it very well. And I was just checking my camera real quick. It kept stopping before, so just want to make sure it's still recording. It's valuable. Is it the fulfillment of a desire? Is it a pleasure, a preference, a behavioral disposition? Or is it just simply a human interest of some kind? And I cannot specifically remember if it was Albert Camus or Paul Sartre, who, they're both philosophers, but they wrote, one of them wrote something, I think it was Sartre, who wrote why we should not kill ourselves. I don't remember the exact title of the thing, but it was the whole thing on why we shouldn't kill ourselves. And he made some really good points. Well, and then to Albert Camus' credit, he wrote the myth of Sisyphus, who I've said a million times who I embody, because he was the one that he was destined to roll the ball up the mountain and then have it fall back down on him, and he was, he had to do that for the rest of his life. And I think at the end he said one must imagine Sisyphus happy. Well, I wouldn't be happy rolling that ball up that mountain for the rest of my life and having it fall back down every single time I got it back up there, the boulder. And we just really have to find deep inside of ourselves what's important to us. And there's another element to that. It's not just making plans and going forward. It's trying the best you can to do something that you're passionate about, because you can have goals and you can have dreams, but if you don't have that fire and that passion inside of you to love what you do, you're not going to be happy. You just won't. You just be a slave to the, I don't know what you call it, whoever you work for. The other thing that I see here is you have the fire ant energy that came out for your first animal card. And I see this as an open wound, right? This pain. But I also wanted to note that I think that some of you are feeling heightened sensitivity. And this could be an overall sensitivity, not specific to emotions, but even physical, or a heightened sense of, it could be perception, auditory, olfactory, cognition. And I think it's important to leave your mind open when this stuff is happening for interpretation of when your senses are heightened. Because Sag is the arrows, right? It's sharp. It's forward movement. It's piercing, but not necessarily in a bad way. But yeah, along with, as far as symptoms that are coming along with your sign this month, I'm getting some upper body, shoulder, maybe the rhomboid area, kind of pain, and just heightened sensitivity to everything. And I know I was throwing shade in my last reading about the Epsom salt baths and burning sage, saying, that's not the only thing you can do to get rid of toxic energy. And no, it's not. I mean, your environment plays a big part of it. But then I found myself in Epsom salt soak twice yesterday because, I don't know, my skin was actually kind of hurting. And what the heck is going on? There's just a really sharp sensitivity in this energy. It wasn't bad, it was just sensitive. And then the day before that, the noises were bothering me, and then I had what I could only call spiritual constipation. I could not get clarity of, I couldn't get my mind clear to finish this reading. And I was staring at a computer for about 12 or 13 hours the other day, so that probably didn't help matters. And I've been working a lot and not sleeping, so no, that didn't help either. And that's bad. But back to this, and then the Elk card came out, and if you guys remember, I mentioned that I group these cards together sometimes by the artistry and the coloring on the, these are both fire elements. And if you notice, this elk looks like he or she is crying. You know, like the black coming down from their eyes could be sadness, tears, eyeliner. And then I had the elk card come out, and I said, oh, okay. So this wound could definitely have surfaced due to this losing someone in this dynamic here. See, this could be a father and a son, or a father and a daughter, a brother and a sister, brothers, you know, the male that had passed away in this wound here. But it could also be pain from the wound that either someone who experienced this relationship loss here, or the regret that someone was having for throwing somebody out, you know, basically out on the cold. It's for either one of those, if you're resonating with those energies. Next card out was the Nightingale. And I got 2 messages from this card as well. The first one being that, you know, I'm on top of the world. You know, it's your time to shine. You know, it's your turn to take a bow, really. It's rebirth, it's renewal, and you bring that to us every year. You know, so we should take a lesson from the Sagittarius and be grateful for that, because you bring us around every year. And sadly, the people who have braced us with this toxicity in our lives, they'll probably get their karma. Some of them, but the good karma, if you've been a good person, will come to you, because it's time. And here we have the Singer of the Chalice and the Friends card. So the Singer of the Chalice holds everything, right? So holds all the energy of the emotion. And it's like I said, it's like you shouldering something, you know, holding us. And I don't know why I'm getting that feeling of like holding us, but maybe that's kind of what you do. I feel like it's like you balance the weight of the system on your shoulders, and then, you know, and then I got this card where the guy is actually balancing, you know, his friend up here, and the message made sense to me. You guys are the arrows, you know, you're strong, strength, but it's not the same type of energy that Aries has with the Mars energy, like the warrior energy. It's more, it's kinder, because Aries, you know, they're fire, and Mars energy can be really, really mean, really heated. You guys do it with a little more finesse, I should say, but strength too, like physical strength and accuracy. I was hearing, it was that movie, The Nutty Professor, when, I don't know, the grandmother was talking about some talk show host, and anyway, the family got arguing at the table, and I don't know, the grandmother said something about somebody making her moist, and everybody, like, her son just went off, and he's like, I'm gonna kick her ass, and she's like, they all started going, I'm gonna kick your ass, and then she made some reference to Hercules, and everybody probably remembers this, and she said, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. And that's what it was making me think of, you guys. Like, you are that strong, like Hercules. And you are. That's, you know, that's what you do. Okay, so since you guys are the last sign and you waited so patiently for your reading, and I do plan on, I will start working on the readings for Sag season. So I was going to pull Cartomancy, and I didn't. I decided I would do some intuitive for you, because just to change it up, something different. So, let me see. I was getting it a little bit earlier, but it's a little hard to get. So, okay, so if you're watching this and you watch football, or your boyfriend or husband watches football, this week would be a really good week for him to bet on his team. Okay, I'm seeing a teacher getting books off of a shelf, and the globe. Like, I'm specifically seeing a teacher who either teaches like social studies or geography, maybe history, but also definitely math, because I see math problems like fractions on the chalkboard behind her, and shapes like geometry. And also, whoever this teacher is, she was on Thanksgiving, she was in the kitchen like all day cooking. I did see that, because she has the same dress on. I don't know why she's wearing a dress to cook, but you know. And then okay, I see the plane again, but I mean, it's holiday season, so we're traveling. Okay, I think this person, or these persons, are going to LA. Because I see sunglasses that have like the stars on them. I've only seen those sunglasses for like little kids before, but the sunglasses with little stars on them, and stars, and a camera, so it's making me think of like Hollywood, maybe Los Angeles, that place around there. Names. I have 3 names. I think they're all female names. Or one of them, Terry, Tammy, or Anna. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if Terry is a guy or a girl. It could be either or. No, they're not directly related to those images that I saw. Or they could be, but I didn't say that necessarily. They're just the 3 names that I picked up. I don't know if they mean anything to anybody. This person that passed away, see, I'm sorry, and then I with God, not I'm with God. It's like I'm sorry, and then I with God, not I'm with God. It was like if they were writing you a note or something, they left the letter. Or maybe that's what I'm... strange. Huh. Alright, well, that's what I have for your reading, and thank you very, very much for being Saggies, because you just end our year out with a lot of strength and positivity, and a lot to look forward to in the next year. So, I cannot wait for 2020, and I will see you guys back for the reading for, I guess it'll be, yeah, December. And I'm starting to remind everybody that if you like my videos or you vibe with them, to please like, share, and subscribe, because you know, it helps the videos get promoted. And I'm just starting my channel, and I still haven't really promoted it out, so I just want to make sure that it's gonna at least move ahead a little bit. I'm just really, you know, before I plug it along. And likewise, you can book a private reading on my Facebook page. I don't think I've linked up the Instagram yet. So you can find me at Olive Oracle Tarot on Facebook. And my Gmail is oliveoracle@gmail.com. And if you would like a private reading, I am putting them on sale. I think I'm going to do it starting Saturday, so it's going to be just half price for a full tarot reading, which normally they run about 60, I think it was like $64.95, so I'll be doing it for half price. And some people like to give them for Christmas presents. And the reading would be just like this, basically. I don't know that it would be, it would probably be about the same amount of cards. I lay out the personals a little bit different. But it would be like that. And it would be your own, private recorded reading. So, yeah. If you're interested, just give me an email or send me a message on my Facebook page. Alright, I'll see you guys soon.